Wemby's camp came out before the season like, hey, even if this team struggles, we're playing the majority of these games as long as we're healthy. And that's what I want to see because, there's it's rare that we see something like this. It's like LeBron James, like a for sure can't miss prospect where he's going number one years before he's even able to enter the draft.
Yes.
And it's pretty remarkable what LeBron's been able to do, not only on the floor but off the floor because all eyeballs have been on him since he's been 16, 17 years old. And Wemby kind of the same thing. Big shoes to fill here, but I keep telling my son, Nathan, I'm like, hey, because he's 10 years old, I'm like, Daddy had Jordan, we had LeBron. Now this is going to be your guy here for the next 10, 15 years, so you should watch him.
Yeah.
And your guy's a lot different than ours. I mean, LeBron, when he came into the league, me and my dad would always have these conversations. How do you defend him? He's a linebacker. He's a tight end. He's 6'8", 6'9",
you don't want to take a charge.
Right, he's got handles. He can shoot the rock. He's got great court vision. Wemby's on a whole nother level. Like, I don't know if they're going to have to change some rules here, because imagine when he puts together the full package. What is that number? What are his box scores going to look like? Is he going to be like a 30-20 guy?
And that's why I'm so curious to see what his props look like moving forward, right? Because for a while it went from 1.5 to 2.5 to 3.5 turnovers, and he was turning the ball over like crazy. But another thing to give him credit for, just 2 turnovers last night.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to watch improvement as the season goes on. You're going to see the points go up. You're going to see rebounds, blocks. Everything's going to continue to go up. It's going to get bet up game after game after game. But I got to be honest with you. I won't bet unders. I'll either stay away or I'll take overs because to me, somebody like that can go off in any game. I don't bet unders on stars. I just won't do it because there's too many opportunities. Even if they're struggling shooting, it doesn't matter because you know what they have the ability to do. The Pacers and Cavs. What would you say to describe the court the Pacers and Cavs are playing on right now?
It's like, when you have to play in one of those all-day tournaments, if you play like AAU or like in grade school and you have to go to like a field house, not even somebody's gym, and the floor sucks, the rims are always too tight, and there's like there's just like a screen and there's another court and there's like another game going on. That's what that reminds me of. It's like multi-use. There's like volleyball there. They're doing like field hockey. I don't know that I like it, Nick. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm get off my lawn guy like Clint Eastwood, but it's very bright. Like, it hurts my eyeballs.
Yeah. So for anybody not watching it right now, which
cool,
I'm sure there's
I would like my
aren't.
sneakers to look like that when I go jogging at night. Maybe
it's a kind of babyish blue, Carolina blue almost floor with a yellow stripe going from baseline to baseline, and in the center it's the trophy for the play-in tournament with Indy written across it in, I guess, what you'd kind of describe as like SpongeBob cartoon drawn little kid letters.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it. Now, I never said every court was good. I haven't seen this one. Obviously, this is the first one we've seen on a big screen. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot for the eyeballs.
I got to be honest with you. And the Pacers also have those City Edition jerseys. All of them ugly, by the way.
Yeah.
Every single one of them that's new. There's some original, like, ones that have been there before. Those are okay. But, like, my God, most of the Nike City Edition jerseys this year are so horrible. Stick with the ones that are good. We don't need new ones every single year. But I still like the play-in tournament. I'm with that, and I'm good.
I told everybody, I like this Mavs team. I know that people don't think Kyrie and Luke are going to work out together. They are. You know why? Because Luka's going to be a top 5 player throughout his career, and he's too good not to go back to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. It's as easy as that, man. Like, Luka's not missing the playoffs 2 years in a row. Kyrie didn't choose. I know it's about the money, but Kyrie has money. And I know people don't think he cares about the game. I think he does care about the game. And I don't think he would have went back to a crappy situation. And even if they're in contention and there is a guy that's upset around the trade deadline, which there always is in the NBA, Mark Cuban is always aggressive and he'll get deals done. So I'm excited for that game tonight, though. Mavs Nuggets, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential fireworks in that game.
Yeah.
Offensively, it could be an absolute and you've got Kyrie back on top of that, too.
Finally.
I'm convinced of this. A lot of teams were already resting stars. Guys have sat out to make sure they were ready for these first round of these games. The NBA, I'm sure behind the scenes, compromised with the coaching staff and the trainers or organizations who said, all right, look, you can sit them out the first couple of games, but you have to have your guys out there unless it's a legit injury for the first games of the in-season tournament. If you don't do that, we got big problems. LSU offense, Alabama defense. Who do you give the advantage to?
Ooh.
Well, offense certainly, I used to say championships, defense wins championships like everybody else. But in this current rule system, they're going to win some. I mean, if you think Alabama's going to, stop them to, 17, 21, 24, you're crazy. I'm not buying it. I try to convince Alabama fans all week. Listen, a win would be 28 points. If you could slow them down to about 28 points, I think that'd be a win because just the rules are based on, letting the offense have production. So to me, I think Alabama's going to win some. I don't think LSU's going to hit their average because as much as we talk about Alabama's defense has not played an offense like this. You could flip the script and you could say LSU's offense has not played a defense like Alabama. Alabama's going to be physical. They're going to punch you in the mouth. They're going to bring pressure all different type of ways. As Kevin Steele loves to blitz, he loves to, be exotic with those blitz packages. Alabama's defense is a legit championship caliber defense. I think they're going to win some and lose some, but I don't think LSU's going to hit their average of where they've been. And really, if you look at LSU, they've lost to Florida State. They lost to Ole Miss. Really, if you think about the win that they're going to hang their hat on, what is it? Missouri on the road? Maybe. But really, if you look at the quality of schedule that they've won the 6 games, you not Auburn, not Grambling. I mean, you start going through the schedule and you're like, okay, where's the win? You lost Ole Miss, you lost Florida State, you beat the Missouri Tigers on the road. That's where you're hanging your hat on if you're an LSU Bengal Tiger.
The Dolphins have played 3 top 10 offenses of this season. In those games, they're giving up an average of 38 points per game. Last 4 weeks, things have looked much better. Vic Fangio usually does pretty well against Patrick Mahomes, but he also plays a bunch of zone, and the Chiefs eat zone alive. So for me, just the under in this game. I want to see also, does Miami play a little bit more man against Kelsey? Because right now the Dolphins really struggling to defend tight ends, bottom 7 in EPA, targets, yards, all against tight ends. This could be a Kelsey game unless they switch things up and play some man. So if anything, maybe I add a Kelsey, over on the receptions, anytime touchdown. Right now, just
Tay-Tay's not going to be there. Don't do it.
Yeah, right now, just
the
under 51, even at 50.5. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, and I bet you this ends up being one of the more bet totals of the day. A lot of people are going to like the over because it's Mahomes against Tua. So under for me here,
and that's fair. I mean, but the travel is this is a whole different ball game, and we haven't seen teams even go to Germany yet. Yeah. I don't know if the travel's any different than going to London, but again, they're not used to traveling in this way that they're traveling. So this makes it even more complicated. I think that's something you factor in.
Glad you brought that up. The Dolphins, I kind of like what they did a little bit better. They travel on Monday. Chiefs left midweek.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins have been there. They're probably
earlier.
A little bit more
Which is what
used to the schedule.
The Ravens did that too because they got worked the last time they were in London, and it worked for them. So that's something to think about there.
How do you guys think they use Jalen Ramsey in this matchup? Do you think they line him up with somebody, or do you think possibly they would just leave him on one side of the field to take away one side of the field, or do you think they're actually going to line him up with somebody?
He doesn't really travel.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey doesn't. He did, he does in a big matchup. A couple of years ago in the NFC playoffs against Devontae Adams, he traveled, but he got absolutely cooked by Devontae. I don't know that you want that because Jalen Ramsey is not the lockdown. He's still good, don't get me wrong. He's not Jalen Ramsey from the Jacksonville run.
No,
we're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to win that bitch. I love that Jalen Ramsey. He was a lot of fun.
He has been a lot quieter.
Yeah. But he's still damn good.
Really good. Look,
I think they're going to get better defensively, but I got to see it this week against this Chiefs team, man. Yeah, I think you leave them on one side. That's
really been the biggest issue has been if the Dolphins can get their defense to more of even just a middle of the pack. Let's say inside the top 15. This is a team that can go to the Super Bowl because that offense can compete with anybody here. But I mean, listen, I think you'd be crazy not to take Tyreek Hill overs no matter what.